Oh, leave town.
There we are on TV.
Welcome back. Hey, thank you very much for being here. We've got one of our very special friends with us, Bob Ketchum. I don't know why we're friends.
Well, I think we have that musician mentality.
Oh, we're all brothers.
That's part of it.
Well, I'm not, so you have to.
I thought I was a comedy relief.
I'm the straight man for you two today.
Well, we appreciate it. That's a new shirt. I have not seen that design before.
You, yeah.
I appreciate that.
And he's got his Hotel California T-shirt on. I mentioned that.
I got that, at the concert, actually. They played in Little Rock in 2008.
Yeah.
Oh, I saw him in Little Rock in 2002.
I saw him at that one
July.
Yeah,
2nd.
at North
July
Little Rock.
2nd, yeah, what used to be Alltel Arena.
See, look at you guys have a lot in common already.
Of my life. We were in like the rowdy section, and it was great because you knew every word, every song, all night long, and everybody stood up, and they started with that Seven Bridges Road in the dark, and the lights came up, and it was nothing but them, and like 2.5 hours of music. Great concert.
I enjoyed the 2002 more than the 2008 because at the 2002, we were almost literally right over Joe Walsh's guitar racks. So I could watch every guitar as it went out on the stage, and I kind of like that. But
I was over on the left-hand stage up there.
At the 2008, we were in the nosebleed section.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you this quick story because it's hilarious, and besides, we're talking about nothing. But there was a guy and his wife that were coming up those concrete steps, and they were actually behind us. We were like 4 rows down. They were all the way up, and the wife stopped right next to my wife was sitting next to me here, and she stopped and she was clinging. There's that pole that goes down the middle. She was clinging to the pole and like, I can't go on. I can't go on. And he's holding 2 beers, right? He said, "Come on, let's get on up this."
He said, "I can't help you.
I can't help
My hands are full."
I'd have to put the beers down, and this woman's going to drink them. So. But,
that's funny.
Yeah, well, that's always fun. So you visit, because I don't get to go. Well, living around here, we don't go to a lot of concerts because it is quite a trip to get out of town. And
it's too expensive to bring them in.
It is.
We can't bring big names to any place small.
Well,
anyway.
you can, because they don't care where they go as long as they're paid.
Right.
Yeah, they don't care where they go.
I saw the Kenny Chesney tour this summer. I don't guarantee it wouldn't have come to Baxter County.
Oh, you could get in here. You can get anybody here.
Hey, Willie Nelson's played here.
He's played here. He's played here twice.
Tim McGraw.
Yeah.
It was 2 people I did not know, and Tim McGraw and Kenny Chesney.
I saw REO Speedwagon here.
Mm-hmm.
So
in Baxter County?
Yeah, at the shed.
Mm-hmm.
Well, how cool. Oh, that's right. I had tickets to that, and something happened. I gave them to Matt and Pam.
Missed a good
right.
concert.
It's not the all original members, is it not? Or
the keyboard player and the singer were the originals. Mm-hmm. You hardly meet any what we call legacy band. Mm-hmm. You hardly meet any legacy bands that has the original drummer.
The original drummer? Why is that?
Short lifespan.
Well, I'm 66.
Yeah.
So
if I was in a legacy band and I had to go out every night and do high energy
drumming,
90-minute sets, I mean, I'd have to have oxygen.
Yeah. That is amazing because, I mean, some of those drummers back in those days were phenomenal drummers.
Oh, yeah.
And they beat them just like crazy.
I was a pretty good drummer myself back in the old days, but I don't think I could.
It's easy to go up and do this, isn't it?
Well,
stand there, you just pretend. Remember when the Kentucky Headhunters came to Harrison years ago, and that drummer? I mean, he kept up this drum solo.
He's on.
Well, it all starts with the drummer. You're only as good as your drummer.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can talk about any of the other band members, and I'm saying that I realize I'm a drummer, but
you're absolutely right because the drummer
sets the. You have to have a good drummer. Everything's built on that.
And I've been told that the drummer keeps the time for the whole band, regardless. I mean, if they get off, he's got to speed up or go down.
The only guy in the whole band that has the whole arrangement going on in his head.
In his head, yeah. He knows. He gives the cues.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I'm always amazed. I'm a Deep Purple fan, and Ian Pace.
He's my mentor.
Is he really?
Yeah, I know him.
Oh well, good for you.
Yeah, I know.
I met him one time. He's shorter than me.
Yeah, he's a short little guy,
but his intros to every tune that they ever did, they're so unique. Everyone's unique.
Absolutely, and he's a left-handed drummer.
Yeah, and it's just so amazing to me that he comes up. He's the one that sets the tone for the song. So
absolutely, and he's an original drummer, by the way, from a band that started in about 1971.
Yeah, he's 60. I think he's around 62.
He's my
63.
age.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're both 66.
He is 66.
He is 66.
Amazing. I met him at Hare Arena in Dayton, Ohio.
And
he came
Roger Glover is about 64, I think.
Yeah. They're all getting old.
Aren't we all?
You know.
Look at me, I got a new hip. Hey.
Well, let's talk about your hip for just a second. We got just a few more minutes left. Now, when we first met, you had a limp. Had a limp
the last
for
time
40
I was
years?
here.
30, 40 years?
I've had a limp for at least a year when the hip started going out.
Yeah. And part of the problem was you were shot in the hip.
Yeah, well, it started when I drove the Jeep over the cliff when I was 17, and I busted this hip up.
And somebody came up was going to put you out of your misery by shooting you?
No, that was in 77. I was in Tulsa at the Hilton Inn with my band, and we were doing a fraternity party, and the security guard was a Barney Fife.
Barney Fife, yeah.
And he was showing off his 357 Magnums.
Oh, nice.
And I was about as close as me to you, and he blew the knuckle out of this finger and then shattered my hip. And you know what? All these years I was told, I suppose, that it split the femur and moved down here. They left the bullet in. Well, in October when I went to Little Rock, because my hip was so bad and they x-rayed it, they took 2 x-rays because the guy said, well, there's something wrong with the first x-ray. And then we looked at the second one, and there's a little white blob in the middle of it. And I said, well, that could be a bullet. And it was. And when they went in, I got a hip replacement November 30th. And when I came out from under, my wife was standing there and she said, guess what? And I said, what? And she said, the doctor found your bullet. And so they gave me the bullet. We haven't figured out what we want to do. I might want to wear it on.
Yeah, that'd be great.
I'd frame it and put it on the mantle, my bullet, that sort of thing.
I like carrying it around.
You like carrying it around?
I've been carrying it for so long that I kind of miss it now,
It's part of your
People
soul.
would ask, why do you have it? Because it used to be in my leg. It's in my hip.
Well, it would be a good conversation starter.
That's funny.
It would be, and of course then you can, something a little bit more grand than a Barney Fife type and just accidentally discharge it.
Yeah, well, it's all in the book, though.
It's all that's
book.
right, it's all in the book. How's the book doing?
One at a time.
One at a time, very good.
I'm sure you have plenty of stories to tell.
I've got enough for another book.
Just like this segment that we're talking about, nothing.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just like Seinfeld. Nothing is that makes the whole entire show.
Absolutely. Some of the best conversations come from nothing.
Yeah, they do.
Well, Dan always claims that everybody has a story, which is why he encourages people.
I've always said everybody has a book in them.
They do. Sure they do.
It's just sitting down and hitting that first keystroke.
And I have told stories about my life to various people, and the younger the kids are, the teenagers, whatever, they'll say, that didn't happen to you. That could not have happened. I said, yeah, it did. And they said, well, you need to write a book. And it's happened to me, so it's really not that important. I'm sure you felt the same way.
Yeah, I did. I probably wouldn't have written the book, but when my mom was still alive, she always used to tell me, you really ought to write a book. Because I'd come home on weekends and tell her of some exploits and escapades that the band had. Well, a tornado blew through or whatever.
Yeah.
And she'd just be tears coming down her cheeks, And she says, you got to write a book.
Yeah.
And it just finally sunk in, I guess.
Well, the great thing about writing that history down is it will be here forever, somewhere.
It will
and
be.
Somebody that maybe a future relative will look at that and say, that was a pretty cool guy.
Well, and bottom line, Robert's got a copy of it, my son. So, and he's 15, but if I'm not here, when he gets old enough to want to ask questions, he can go to the book and find out what Dad did. So,
sure, yeah.
And when you live the kind of life where these kind of things happen, you really don't need to make truth is stranger than fiction.
Yeah, just tell the truth. It's very, very interesting.
And you got to write it down while you still remember it.
That's right.
Well, Bob, it's a grand pleasure for me to have you on the show from time to time.
Thank you very much. I'll try to
keep your wardrobe up.
Dress appropriately. Let us know and we'll dress.
The next time you're on, if it's spring or summer, I'll drag some of mine out and
we should
I'll bring
all
one for
wear
her.
Hawaiian shirts.
I used to have one, but I think
we can
I
have a
finally
luau.
sent it to the thrift
We should.
shop.
I'll bring one for her.
We can do parrot heads.
Oh, good.
I'm good at that, yeah.
Bob, thanks a lot.
My pleasure.
And thanks a lot for all the guests who've been on the show. We appreciate you, the viewers out there. Let us know, let us know what we're doing from time to time. If you'd like to see Bob more, if you don't want to see me anymore.
Yeah, I like that. Get rid of the ball.
Remember the hits.
Yeah.
Don't remember this. Thanks a lot. We'll see you again next time.
Bye.
Okay.
There we go.